Hey there. And welcome to today's deep dive. I'm really glad you could join us. I know you're someone who, well, you love gaining knowledge quickly, getting those multiple perspectives, but without feeling totally overwhelmed by the details.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about getting the core insights without drowning in the weeds. So, hello from me as well. Really looking forward to this one.
Right. And our mission today is pretty straightforward. We are going to strictly explore the specific source material that you sent our way.
Which I have to say is a brilliantly focused topic.
It really is. We're looking at excerpts from a work titled Fundamental Errors in Introductory English, and specifically, we're zeroing in on a section about common English mistakes beginners make. So, okay, let's unpack this.
I love that we're starting here. It really validates why you brought this topic to us in the first place. Focusing on foundational learning, specifically introductory material, it is honestly the absolute perfect way to grasp the building blocks of any complex system.
Oh, totally. Because, I mean, when you think about it, being a beginner at anything, but especially a massive, complex language like English, it can be intimidating. It feels
Yeah,
like you're standing at the bottom of a giant mountain looking straight up, and you have no idea where to even place your hands first.
right. And what's fascinating here is the specific isolation of that beginning stage. The psychological and structural implications of the word introductory are huge.
Yeah, unpack that a bit. Why is that word so crucial here?
Well, why does the source isolate introductory English instead of just talking about general language usage? Because this is the exact phase where foundational habits are formed. The concrete is still wet, so to
I
speak.
think it's a good way to put it. If you step in the wet concrete, that footprint is there forever unless you fix it early.
Precisely. The introductory phase is where the brain is mapping out the rules of the system.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting to me. It's the phrasing used in the materials you provided.
The dual terminology.
Yes. The way the text uses both fundamental errors and common mistakes. At first glance, you might think, they're just synonyms.
But they're really not. If you look at it from a critical thinking perspective, that wording is very nuanced.
Right, because an error,
An error implies a structural flaw at the fundamental level. It means the underlying logic the beginner is using is broken.
like trying to build the second floor of a house when the foundation is crooked.
Exactly. The rule itself has been misunderstood,
Yeah.
whereas a common mistake implies something entirely different.
It's more of a shared hurdle, right?
Yes, a collective tripwire that almost all beginners face, regardless of their native language or background.
And I think that's such a vital takeaway for you listening. Because these struggles are labeled specifically as common, it proves that your early struggles with introductory English or any introductory skill, they are universal.
They aren't individual failures.
Right. You're not uniquely bad at this, you're just hitting the exact same speed bumps that millions of other people have hit.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, identifying those fundamental errors early on in introductory English is exactly what prevents them from calcifying.
Calcifying into those permanent, stubborn habits that are impossible to break later.
Exactly. Once a rule's mapped incorrectly in the brain, unlearning it is 10 times harder than learning it right the first time.
It's so funny because, the mechanics of language can be incredibly dense and dry.
Oh, definitely.
But when you frame it like this, having these common mistakes clearly identified, it's not a list of things you're doing wrong. It's actually a roadmap.
A roadmap of where the potholes are.
Yeah, it tells the learner exactly where they need to slow down and pay attention. So I want to pose an active listening question to you right now. What stands out to you when you think about the concept of fundamental errors versus simple, everyday mistakes?
That's a really great distinction for them to ponder. Because a simple slip of the tongue is one thing, but a fundamental error reveals a misunderstanding of the system itself.
Right. It's the difference between hitting a wrong note on the piano because your finger slipped versus hitting the wrong note because you can't read the sheet music.
That is a perfect analogy.
Thanks. So what does this all mean? When we boil it down, I think these excerpts from Fundamental Errors in Introductory English serve as a totally vital mirror for beginners.
I'd agree with that. A mirror that normalizes the struggle.
Yeah, proving that the missteps you make during early language acquisition, they're documented, they are common, and they are fundamentally predictable.
Because in the end, knowledge is most valuable when it's understood and applied. Recognizing these mistakes as just a standard part of the beginner experience, it empowers you.
It really shifts the mindset.
It does. It allows the learner to view errors as data points rather than setbacks. You start saying, oh, I made this error. That must mean I need to recalibrate this specific rule.
Data points instead of personal failures. I love that.
Which, frankly, raises an important question.
Oh, yeah. This is exactly what I was thinking. If the most fundamental errors in introductory English are entirely common and completely predictable for beginners, how might knowing this change your psychological approach the next time you are a beginner?
Yeah, stepping into any entirely new skill.
Right. Does knowing the mistakes are already mapped out free you to make them more boldly? Knowing you're just following the well-worn path of everyone who learned it before you.
It certainly should.
I think so too. Well, that is a great thought to leave on. Thank you so much for bringing such a foundational and thought-provoking source to the table for this deep dive. We really appreciate you exploring it with us, and we'll catch you next time.